The shuttle trembled as it approached the warship, and Lisa Morgan gripped the armrest hard enough to leave marks in the synthetic leather. Through the viewport, the vessel loomed like a nightmare made metal, all jagged edges and weapon ports that could vaporize her craft with a thought. She was 24 years old, 3 months out of the academy, and Queen Amara had just sent her to negotiate with the thing that had killed 17 diplomats in the past 2 years. "Final approach," the pilot said, voice tight. "You sure about this?" Lisa wasn't sure about anything. Her hands shook. Her throat felt like sandpaper, but she nodded anyway, because when the Queen of the Terran Coalition gave you an order, you obeyed. Even if that order was walk into the mouth of death and try to make it smile. The docking clamps locked with a metallic shriek. Lisa stood, smoothed her gray diplomatic uniform, and checked the data chip in her pocket one more time. Everything Queen Amara wanted to say was on that chip. Everything humanity needed Krelvax to hear. Lisa was just the messenger, just the sacrifice. The airlock hissed open. The smell hit her first. Something between burned metal and raw meat, predator musk, that made every instinct scream run. 2 guards stood waiting, each one massive, scaled, with eyes that tracked her like she was prey. They said nothing, just turned and walked. Lisa followed, because turning back now would be worse than death. It would be failure. The corridors were too hot, too dark, lit by strips of red light that pulsed like a heartbeat. She passed chambers where she glimpsed weapons, training pits, fighters sparring with blades that glowed white-hot. Every face that turned toward her showed the same expression. Hunger. They reached a massive door that split open like a wound. Beyond it was a throne room carved from black stone, and on that throne sat Krelvax. He was bigger than the reports said, 3 meters tall even sitting down, muscles layered like armor beneath midnight blue scales. 4 arms, each ending in claws that could tear through steel. A face that was almost reptilian but somehow worse, more aware, more intelligent. Yellow eyes with vertical pupils, locked onto Lisa and stripped away every pretense of courage she'd built. "Another human!" Krelvax said, his voice a rumble that vibrated through the floor. "Another little diplomat sent to beg for peace!" Lisa's mouth was dry, but she forced herself to speak. "I'm not here to beg." One of Krelvax's eyes twitched. It might have been amusement. "No? Then why are you here, little one?" "Queen Amara sent me with a proposal. A real one, not a surrender, not a plea. A deal that benefits both of us." Krelvax leaned forward, and Lisa caught the full force of his presence, the weight of a predator who'd conquered 17 star systems and burned 12 more to ash because they annoyed him. "The last diplomat who stood where you stand told me he had a real deal too. I sent his head back in a box." "I know," Lisa said. Her voice almost cracked but didn't. "I read the reports on all 17. You killed them because they lied, because they tried to manipulate you, because they thought you were just another warlord who could be bought or threatened." Silence. Krelvax's 4 arms tensed, claws scraping on the armrests of his throne. Lisa knew she had seconds before he decided whether to listen or kill. "Queen Amara doesn't think you're just another warlord," Lisa continued. "She knows what you are. She knows what you've done. And she still sent me here unarmed, alone, because what she wants to offer you is worth the risk of losing another envoy. What could your queen possibly offer me that I cannot simply take?" Lisa reached into her pocket slowly, carefully, and pulled out the data chip. "Information. Strategy. Alliance against an enemy that will kill us both if we keep fighting each other." Krelvax stared at the chip, then at Lisa. "You interest me, human. Most of your kind wet themselves before they even reach this chamber. You're terrified. I can smell it, but you stand straight. You meet my eyes." He rose from his throne, towering over her. "But terror and bravery mean nothing without strength. If you want me to hear your queen's message, you must prove humanity deserves my attention." Lisa's heart hammered. "What kind of proof?" "Combat." Krelvax gestured, and the floor beside his throne irised open. Weapons rose from below, gleaming and deadly. "Choose your weapon. Face one of my warriors. Survive 3 minutes, and I'll listen to your message. Die, and I send your body back as my answer." Lisa looked at the weapons, then at the guards flanking the room. Any one of them could kill her in seconds. She had basic combat training, enough to pass academy requirements, but these were apex predators who lived for war. "No," she said. Krelvax's eyes widened. "What? I'm not going to fight one of your warriors. I'd lose, and we both know it. That's not proof of strength, that's just spectacle." Lisa took a breath, steadying herself. "But I'll prove humanity's worth another way. A war game. Strategic simulation, your best tactician against me. If I win, you hear the message. If I lose, you can kill me however you want." For a long moment, Krelvax said nothing. Then he laughed, a sound like boulders grinding together. "You would gamble your life on a game? Strategy is what separates predators from conquerors," Lisa said. "Anyone can fight. Not everyone can win wars." Krelvax's grin showed too many teeth. "Very well, little diplomat. Let's see if human cleverness matches human arrogance." The holographic projector rose from the floor, filling the center of the throne room with light. A tactical grid materialized, showing a star system with multiple planets, asteroid fields, and strategic choke points. Krelvax's tactical officer stepped forward, a scarred veteran with one eye replaced by cybernetics. "Standard scenario," Krelvax said. "Defend the central world against invasion. You have limited resources, limited time. My officer will command the attacking force. Begin." The simulation started. Lisa watched the enemy fleet position itself, a classic hammer and anvil formation designed to crush defenders between two massive forces. The tactical officer was good. She could see that immediately. He'd done this 1,000 times. But he'd never fought humans before. Lisa divided her forces, making it look like she was trying to defend 3 different positions at once. The enemy fleets advanced confident. Then Lisa pulled back, abandoning 2 positions entirely and concentrating everything on a single asteroid field. The tactical officer pursued, sensing weakness. That's when Lisa triggered the mine she'd hidden in the asteroids during setup, crippling the lead elements of both enemy fleets. Before they could recover, she launched her concentrated force through the gap, striking at the enemy command ship with everything she had. The tactical officer tried to reorganize, but Lisa didn't give him time. She used guerrilla tactics, hit-and-run attacks, feints, and false retreats. She sacrificed ships to create opportunities, traded space for time, led enemy forces into ambushes they didn't see coming. 15 minutes later, the enemy command ship exploded in a shower of holographic light. The throne room was silent. Krelvax's tactical officer stared at the projection, mandibles hanging open. Lisa's hands were shaking again, but this time from adrenaline, not fear. "Impossible," the tactical officer whispered. "No one has beaten me in 37 years. Krelvax descended from his throne slowly, deliberately. He circled Lisa like she was prey, but his eyes held something new, not hunger. Respect. "You fight like prey that has learned to hunt," he said. "Weak alone, but clever in groups. You sacrifice pieces to win the whole. This is not how warriors fight." "No," Lisa agreed. "It's how survivors fight, and humanity has survived everything the galaxy has thrown at us." Krelvax extended one massive hand. "Give me the chip." Lisa placed it in his palm. He inserted it into a reader on his throne, and Queen Amara's message played as a hologram. The queen stood tall, dark skin gleaming in Earth's sunlight, her expression calm but commanding. "Krelvax," the recording said, "I am Queen Amara of the Terran Coalition. I do not come to you with threats or bribes. I come with truth. There is an enemy moving through the Outer Rim, consuming everything in its path. We call it the Void Swarm. In 6 weeks, it will reach your territory. In 8 weeks, it will reach ours. Separately, we will fall. Together, we might survive. I offer you alliance, shared intelligence, and combined military action. Not because I fear you, but because I respect what you are, a survivor like us. The choice is yours. Choose wisely. Choose quickly. Time is running out for all of us." The hologram faded. Krelvax stood motionless, processing. Then he touched a control on his throne, and new data flooded the holographic display. Fleet movements, sensor readings, intercepted communications, all pointing to the same thing. A massive organic fleet moving through space like a plague, leaving nothing but dead worlds behind. You knew, Lisa breathed. You already knew about the swarm. I've been tracking them for months, Krelvax said. I killed your previous diplomats because they came offering peace while my people prepared for extinction.
I thought they were fools. Distractions.
But your queen, she sends me not a master diplomat but a recruit. Not someone polished and false, but someone real. Someone who admits fear but acts anyway. Someone who fights like humanity fights. Clever, desperate, and absolutely refusing to die. He turned to face her fully. I will accept your queen's alliance, but I have one condition. I must meet her. Face to face. I must see if she is truly worthy of leading this coalition, or if she is just another politician sending others to die while she hides behind walls. Lisa's mind raced. This wasn't in the mission parameters. Queen Amara had never mentioned bringing Krelvax to Earth. The security risks alone were enormous. But Lisa looked at the data still playing across the hologram, the Void Swarm's relentless advance, and knew they had no choice. I'll arrange it, she said. But if you betray us, if you try to harm the Queen, or use this as an opportunity to attack Earth, we will make you regret it. Krelvax laughed again. That is what I wanted to hear. Threat and promise together. You may be young, Lisa Morgan, but you are learning. He gestured to his guards. Prepare my flagship. We leave for Earth immediately. The journey back took 2 days, and Lisa spent every moment of it terrified that she'd made the wrong call. Bringing the galaxy's most dangerous predator to humanity's homeworld could be the worst mistake in history. But Queen Amara had trusted her with this mission, had sent her specifically, a recruit with no experience, no connections, nothing but raw determination. Why? The question haunted Lisa as Krelvax's fleet entered Earth's solar system. Defense satellites locked on immediately. Planetary shields activated. The entire Terran Defense Force went to high alert. Lisa sent the clearance codes Queen Amara had given her, praying they would work. For 10 agonizing seconds, nothing happened. Then the shields parted, and a single narrow corridor opened through Earth's defenses. Your queen is either very brave or very stupid, Krelvax observed from his command throne. She allows an enemy fleet to her homeworld. She's brave, Lisa said. And she's counting on you being honorable. Honor is a luxury of the strong, Krelvax said. But yes, I will honor this meeting. I am curious about the queen who sends children to treat with monsters. They landed at the Royal Spaceport in Geneva, and Lisa's stomach churned as the landing ramp lowered. A full honor guard waited below, but at their center stood Queen Amara herself, flanked by her elite bodyguards. She wore the ceremonial armor of Earth's United Nations, silver and blue, with the sword of humanity at her hip. Krelvax descended the ramp, towering over every human present. His guards followed, weapons ready. For a moment, the two groups faced each other, and Lisa felt certain this was about to become a bloodbath. Then Queen Amara stepped forward, alone, unarmed except for her ceremonial sword. Krelvax, she said, her voice carrying across the landing field. Welcome to Earth. Thank you for accepting my invitation. Krelvax studied her, yellow eyes taking in every detail. You are smaller than I expected, and you are exactly as dangerous as I expected, Queen Amara replied, which is why I'm grateful you came in peace rather than conquest. Your recruit impressed me, Krelvax said, gesturing to Lisa. She fought with cleverness when strength failed her. She admitted fear but did not let it control her. She spoke truth when lies would have been easier. He paused. Why did you send her? An untrained child instead of your best negotiator? Queen Amara smiled. Because my best negotiators are experts at manipulation, at saying what others want to hear, at hiding truth behind pretty words. You've killed 17 of them because you saw through their games. I needed someone who couldn't play those games. Someone genuine. Someone who would show you what humanity really is. Frightened but stubborn, outmatched but refusing to quit. You gambled her life on that theory. I gambled all our lives on it, Queen Amara corrected. If Lisa failed, you would have killed her and continued your conquest. The swarm would have destroyed us both. But I believed that underneath all your violence, all your conquest, you were looking for something worth fighting beside, instead of against. Was I wrong? Krelvax was silent for a long moment. Then, slowly, deliberately, he lowered himself to one knee. Every human gasped. Every one of Krelvax's guards tensed, hands moving to weapons. "You were not wrong," Krelvax said. "I have spent my life conquering because nothing in this galaxy was worth allying with. The strong took what they wanted. The weak begged and lied. But you, Queen Amara, you risk everything on trust. You send your young to face death because you believe in them. You do not hide behind walls and armies. You stand here, before me, knowing I could kill you with one hand." He raised his massive head, meeting her eyes. "This is leadership. This is strength. I will fight beside you, human queen. I will bring my fleets, my warriors, my knowledge. Together, we will show the Void Swarm what it means to face true predators." Queen Amara extended her hand. Krelvax took it carefully, his claws gentle despite their size. "Then let's begin," she said. "We have a war to win." The combined war room was chaos barely controlled. Human admirals worked alongside Krelvax's warlords, sharing intelligence, coordinating fleet movements, arguing over tactics. Lisa found herself in the middle of it, no longer just a messenger but an actual liaison, translating not just words but intent between two very different military cultures. The Void Swarm was 6 days from Krelvax's outer territories. 5 days from that, they'd hit humanity's frontier colonies. The Alliance had one chance to stop them, a combined fleet action at the Nexus Point, a gravitational anomaly where the Swarm's forces would have to concentrate to pass through. "We hit them there with everything we have," Admiral Grant said, pointing at the holographic display. "Catch them in the bottleneck. Destroy their command ships, scatter the rest." "The Swarm has no command ships," Krelvax growled. "They are a hive mind. Every ship is expendable. Your strategy is flawed." "Then what do you suggest?" Grant shot back, frustration clear. "We do what Lisa did in our war game," Krelvax said, glancing at her. "We sacrifice position for opportunity. Let them through the Nexus. Let them think they've won. Then we hit them from behind, collapse the gravitational field, and trap them in normal space where their numbers mean nothing." "That's insane," another admiral protested. "If we let them through, they could split their forces, attack multiple targets." "Only if they think we're weak," Lisa said quietly. Everyone turned to look at her. "But what if we make them chase us? What if we bait them with a target too valuable to ignore?" Queen Amara leaned forward. "What target?" Lisa took a breath. "Earth. We broadcast our location. Make it look like our defenses are scrambling, like we're afraid. The Swarm will see it as an easy victory, a chance to crush humanity's heart. They'll commit everything to the attack. And while they're focused on Earth," Krelvax said, his grin sharp, "our combined fleet hits them from every other direction. We turn their strength into weakness, their numbers into a liability." The room erupted in argument. It was too risky. Too many things could go wrong. If the timing was off, if the Swarm was smarter than they thought, Earth would burn. Queen Amara raised her hand, and silence fell. "We do it," she said, "because it's the only plan that uses our greatest advantage. Our enemy underestimates us. They see humans as weak, scattered prey. They see Krelvax's people as territorial and divided. They don't know we've allied. They don't know we can think like they do, as one organism with one purpose. We use that. We make them think they're hunting us, right up until we spring the trap." 4 days later, the Void Swarm entered the Nexus Point. Sensors showed millions of organic ships, each one a creature bred for war, all of them linked into a singular consciousness that thought only of consumption. They poured through the gravitational anomaly like a flood, and just as predicted, they oriented toward Earth's transmission. Lisa watched from the bridge of Krelvax's flagship, now positioned in high orbit above Earth alongside the combined fleet. The Swarm was coming. 3 billion organic nightmares, all heading straight for humanity's homeworld. "This is either the bravest thing I've ever done," she muttered, "or the stupidest. Often the same thing." Krelvax rumbled beside her. Your queen teaches you well. The swarm crossed into Earth's solar system. The outer defense platforms engaged, firing everything they had, then self-destructing as planned to make it look like desperate last stands. The swarm consumed the wreckage and kept coming. Admiral Grant reports all civilian evacuations complete, the communications officer said. Earth shields at maximum. Combined fleet ready. Queen Amara's face appeared on the main display, broadcasting from the royal palace. This is the moment, she said. In the next hour, we either save our civilizations or lose everything. But I want every human, every warrior of Krelvax's fleet to know this. We do not fight alone anymore. We are stronger together than we ever were apart. Show them what that means. The swarm hit Earth's planetary shields like a hammer. Billions of tons of organic matter slammed into the energy barrier, testing it, probing for weakness. The shields held, but they wouldn't forever. Now, Queen Amara commanded. The combined fleet dropped out of hiding. Human dreadnoughts appeared from behind the moon. Krelvax's battle cruisers decloaked around Mars. Fighters poured from every direction, and at the nexus point behind the swarm, demolition ships triggered the collapse. The gravitational anomaly inverted. Space folded. The swarm's rear elements, billions of ships, were crushed instantly or flung into deep space at random vectors. The main body, trapped between Earth's defenses and the collapsing nexus, found itself surrounded. All ships fire, Admiral Grant ordered. The battle was unlike anything in recorded history. Organic and mechanical weapons tore at each other. Ships exploded. Fighters danced through clouds of debris. The swarm fought with mindless ferocity, but it had expected easy prey. Instead, it found coordinated resistance. Human ingenuity combined with predator ruthlessness. Lisa coordinated strike teams, directing human ships to weak points that Krelvax's warriors identified, then guiding the warriors to targets that human sensors tracked. It was chaos, but it was organized chaos. Two species fighting as one organism. The swarm began to fragment. Without their full mass, without the psychological advantage of overwhelming numbers, they were just animals. Dangerous, but killable. 3 hours later, it was over. The swarm was broken, scattered, its remaining ships fleeing into deep space where hunter teams would track them down one by one. Earth's shields had held. The combined fleet had lost 30% of its ships, but they'd won. Lisa collapsed into her chair, exhausted, shaking. Krelvax placed one massive hand on her shoulder, gentle despite its weight. You did well, little diplomat. You brought us together. You made this victory possible. Queen Amara made it possible, Lisa said. I just delivered the message. No, Queen Amara's voice came from the display. You were the message, Lisa. You showed Krelvax what humanity is. Scared, but determined. Weak, but clever. Young, but learning. You were proof that we could work together. That trust between predator and prey was possible. She smiled. I sent you because I knew you'd be exactly who you are. And that was exactly who we needed. Krelvax turned to face the display, and for the first time, Lisa saw something like emotion in his predator eyes. Your species should have been prey, he said to Queen Amara. By every law of nature, you should have been conquered or destroyed. But you turned weakness into strategy. You faced the apex predator and made it kneel. You saved both our civilizations. He straightened, bringing his 4 arms across his chest in salute. I name you War Queen, and I name humanity allies of the Krelv Empire. From this day until the last star dies. Queen Amara returned the salute. Then let's make sure that day is a long time coming. We have a galaxy to protect. Lisa looked out at the stars, at the combined fleet reorganizing, at human and Krelv ships working side by side to clear debris and rescue survivors. She thought about the terrified girl who'd boarded a shuttle 4 days ago, certain she was going to die. That girl was gone. In her place was someone new, someone who'd faced the impossible and found a way through. The galaxy would never underestimate humanity again, and at its heart stood a queen who'd gambled everything on hope, on trust, on the belief that even the greatest predators could be turned into the fiercest protectors. It was, Lisa thought, one hell of a lesson in diplomacy.